Scott with DIY Dreaming. On this video tutorial, I'm going to show you some different things that I am making with these over 200-year-old quilt pieces that my friend Ann Causey mailed me just out of the blue. They were made by, she believes, by her grandmother and her great-grandmother somewhere in Mississippi. And the quilt was absolutely falling apart, so she gave me two pieces. This is the one I've been cutting up so far, and then this bigger piece, sorry. And so I just want to give you some ideas and tell you what I think. It should be good. And keep in mind that you can do this very same idea with any kind of fabric. It does not have to be a vintage quilt. Okay, so this is the state of the quilt. She said it was literally falling apart, and it is. The batting is coming out, and the top little designs, the fabric is like shredded. So this quilt has been loved. And that is what makes me love it so much, is the fact that obviously for the last 200 years, all kinds of different people, different members of her family have been using this quilt. And it just says love to me. So as I've been fiddling around with it this morning and through the afternoon, I have been thinking about these women all those hundred of years ago, what their lives were like, what they were like, what it was like to be in Mississippi, what it was like to be hand stitching these quilts. I've been wondering, where did they get the fabric? Where did they get the batting? And if you've been watching DIY Dreaming at all, you know that I am super sentimental. I love antiques. My first piece of furniture that I ever bought, my mom gave my sister and I some money for some bedroom furniture. I bought an antique metal bed and an antique buffet. My sister got a big brown waterbed that's in the dump somewhere. I still have that brown buffet in my dining room and the metal bed in the basement. So I'm just sentimental. I like things that have a history. And so I know a lot of you guys, I'm going to start in just a second, but a lot of you guys said, don't cut it up. It's a family heirloom. But the thing is, it's not usable. And when I received it, it was already cut up. So I hope that makes some of you guys feel a little better. And I feel like this, you know, it's not been getting any love any time in the last, I don't know, 10, 20 years, who knows? But it's gonna get some love now, because I'm going to repurpose it into a bunch of different things. Okay, so let me show you what I've made so far. Then we'll actually do it. I'll show you the process. And okay, let's see. The first thing I want to show you is, we'll do this one. This was the first little brooch that I made. And I'm just using different sides and different bits and pieces of this quilt, okay? And I used some hot glue to hold it together on this one, because the quilt pieces, let's see, did I sew this one? The quilt pieces were in pretty good shape. They weren't literally disintegrating. So I need to go get some of those pins to put on the back. That was one. Oh, this was actually the first one that I made. Look how cute that is. So it was a piece of the quilt that had this pink, let's see if I can find some of that. Well, it had pink fabric, and then this is the back of the quilt, and then, I mean, it's just, and then I used some vintage buttons that another follower sent me. So I think this would be so cute on a jean jacket. It would be darling on a hat. I mean, you could even make a leather wrist cuff with these. There's just a ton of different things that you could do with that. Okay, and then the other one I made was this one. And I want to tell you about this one, and then we'll get it out. I'll quit talking, we'll actually do it. Okay, so on this one, I used a sewing needle and some black thread. Just your basic. And I stitched, can you see that, around the edge of these two pieces. And I'm thinking that if I can figure out how to change the thread in my sewing machine to black, I may do some more of these with black thread. But isn't that cute? And then it has a little pop of black tulle, and then it has a whole bunch of glue strings on it and a little black button in the center. But the reason why I stitched around the edge of this one was because the pieces were literally falling apart. And that's a way to keep all that batting still inside of it so it's not quite so fragile. Okay, so let's look. And let me just show you. So for example, like look at this little piece of this beautiful square. The cotton batting is literally coming out. So here's another cute little square that I could possibly use the bottom half of this one because the batting's not coming out. And here's another square that is pretty ragged. Look at that spot right there. So when I was doing these, I just started cutting circles, okay? Like here's a circle and there's the back of it. You can use the front or the back. I was cutting, trying to get different colors and different bits and pieces on them. And also I was looking for places where it was still holding together and it wasn't completely frayed. So I just started cutting. I have a whole bunch of circles here. And I am going to save this for the time being. This was the second piece of the quilt that Anne sent me. Oh my word. And you guys, she also sent me this finger, this hot glue finger that she made. I think Anne did. I'm trying to remember. You guys are so good to me. I also got a button book this week. I'll show you. And some sweet buttons from another viewer or follower. Patty Izzolo sent this to me and said she just was thinking about me when she saw this button book because she knew I loved buttons. So you guys are just so good to me. You know that I like old stuff. And oh my gosh, it is such a treat to get a package in the mail and to rip through it and to find these treasures inside of a package. So thank you. Okay, so let's quit yakking and let's start making. Teresa says she loves my repurposing. I'm so glad. I am a big repurposer. I always say, use what you have whenever possible. And that's the reason why I use things maybe in not exactly the right purpose for them. Oh, thank you for the stars. So we're crafting on my Wilton's cake board from Walmart today. This one's starting to get pretty cruddy. It'll probably have to be retired here soon. Okay, and I'm looking at this piece that I have left, and I'm looking on the back for a place where it's still relatively intact, and I see right here this area is good. So I like to make these with 3 layers, a back, a middle, and a front. They all have a back, a middle, a front, and a button. Can you see that? I will get close-ups. Okay. So you basically just get brave and make that first cut. And start big because you can make it smaller. But if you start small, you can't make it bigger. And I have a lot of circles here that are really probably too small. Okay, and they don't have to be perfect circles. They could be ovals or whatever. I think that gives it some charm. So here's the front and here's the back, okay? And I have a bunch of pieces here that I've already cut out. This one was totally falling apart. So I just took my sewing machine and I just went like in a little curlicue down into the center and stitched it just to see how it would turn out with white thread. But I know not everybody has a sewing machine, so that's why I'm opting not to hand stitch. Most people know how to do that. So I'm going to trim this up a little bit and then I'm going to put it on this layer. Oh my gosh, and I have some hearts to show you, so stay with me. What this either hand stitching or sewing machine stitching does is it holds the batting that is on the inside of this quilt from falling out the edges. And I want to make this a little bit smaller so it could work with. I like this piece because it has multiple different fabrics from this quilt. And I think it would be cute on top of this. Okay? And then we could go back and do another layer like this. So it would look like something like this. Or even a smaller one like this. But I think I want it to be something more interesting. So let me just fiddle around for a minute. Maybe I'll use this one. Look at this cute little one. And then that's the problem with these. You start playing and then you just can't decide what you want to do. Okay, I'm going to switch completely and we're going to do this one. And then I'm going to use this little piece right here. And then I'm going to use this little piece in the center. Okay? And I'm using you could stitch all of this together if you want. Or you could use your sewing machine to put it together if you have one. But for right now, I'm just going to use my low temperature hot glue gun. And I'm going to put some glue around the center of where I want this to lay. So these two pieces are loosely joined. And then I'm going to come back and add a little bit more glue. I don't want it completely flopping around. Okay, and then I'm going to add this little one. Okay, so then I could just choose a button. And it could be anything from like a mother of pearl to something like completely unexpected, like a black button. It needs to be small though. I think just a little black button would be cute on it. Right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I do like it when you put some stitches in your button before you put it on. And so here's one that I did just that, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Hey, honey. So today has been one of those days where I never got to do anything that I had planned. First, my youngest son had his second COVID vaccine set up for today, but it was in Jasper, Georgia, which is like an hour trip each way. And he just didn't want to go alone. So he asked me if I would go, and what do you say? I said, yes, I would love to. So I drove, and we talked in the car, and it was great. Then when I got home, we're getting ready to go to the beach, and our dog Mia has been just funny. She's been coughing and doing this weird swallowing thing, and so we just decided that I should run to the vet real quick and get her checked out. So that was a whole nother hour, hour and a half. Turns out that she probably has a little bit of acid reflux, and that's what was going on with her. Then my older son just moved into a 2-bedroom apartment from a 1-bedroom apartment, and he asked me to come over and look at it. And what do you say? You say, I would love to, honey. I'll be right over. So there we go. The whole day is gone. But when you're a mom, you know, that's the kind of stuff you live for. Okay, so let me show you this other style that I think maybe I like this other style better. I don't know. These are pretty cute that we did already. So what do you guys think about doing a heart? Look how bad the back of this is. I will definitely have to mount this on a piece of cardboard or something. But what I'm thinking, I'm going to put my camera down a little bit further so you can see. And you can swipe the comments away. Oops. You should be able to anyways, if they're in your way. Yeah, so here's the piece right here. Let's go to the other side of this little board. It might be easier for you to see that way. It is yucky, but oh well. Yeah, okay, so I think I'll have to either stitch it with my sewing machine, or hand stitch it, or mount it on a piece of cardboard. So I cut that out, and then I cut this out, and I did stitch this one because it was totally falling apart. I used my sewing machine. Look how cute that would be. And then I just cut out this little round red circle. I thought I would put that right there. And then just for a pop of color, I have this little turquoise color button. And let's do the thread in it. And as soon as I'm done here, I will come back live maybe in 20 minutes after I'm finished, because tonight and tomorrow morning are the last day for the blessing boxes. So I want to show you what's in them, and I want to tell you how to get your name in my hat one last time before I do my drawing tomorrow, Thursday. I don't know what the day is, at noon. Okay, hang on, and I'm going to thread my needle. I have to be in the light. Okay, here we go. So for all you guys out there that have some of these vintage quilts, I want to know what you have made with them. Have you ever done this brooch idea? Do you like this brooch idea? Yeah, I want to hear from you. And where did you get your quilt? I have been looking at my thrift stores for the last 5 years for something like this. That's why it was so special when it arrived in the mail. And I've just not seen any vintage quilts that were in bad enough shape that I would feel okay cutting them up. So I'm just gonna go crisscross like twice on this. Try not to do a big knot. I do think buttons generally speaking, when you're using them on your craft projects, they look better if they have actual thread, I think, in the hole. I'm going to do 3 layers, 3 crisscrosses here. And then we'll glue this together. I'm having a hard time holding on to it. Okay, so I've got this right here. Can you guys see? And I'm just going to do a little, I don't know what this is called, just where you run your needle through the stitches and then you do a couple little knots. And it's going to be hot glued down, so it'll be just fine. Okay. There we go. So now let's put this together. And I am going to include one round brooch and 1 heart brooch in each one of my blessing boxes. And then I'm going to make some for myself too, because I think this is adorable. Okay, so let's just throw some hot glue on the back of this puppy right here. And then I'm going to put a blob here in the center. Okay, so this is what we have right there. And then we're going to add this little blue button to it. It's going to be adorable. I have another one over here to the side that I'm going to show you that's super cute too. I love these colors. This teal with this cream, with the pink, with the red. What do you guys think? Is that adorable or what? I think it's absolutely adorable. You know, you could mount these on little pieces of some craft wire if you wanted and make an arrangement. Like, do you guys remember when we did this one? We made these button flowers. So you could do something like that for sure. Okay, so there's that one. It's definitely gonna have to go on a piece of cardboard or something on the back of it because it's fallen apart. The other one is just going to be a couple of layers, and I just cut this little heart out. And then I cut this little heart out, and it was falling apart. So I used my sewing machine to do a real messy stitch around it. You can see, but I think that's part of what makes it adorable, is how messy that stitch is. And I'm going to put this on top of here. And then I have another one of these little blue buttons that I put the stitches in. So let's lay this down. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can still do this project just with a hand stitching if the quilt is falling apart like this one. Oh my gosh, Anne, thank you so much. This is like a treasure. I can do so many things with that other side of the little piece of the quilt that I haven't even touched yet. Okay, and then let's glue this little button in the center. And I will get some pins that I'll include in the blessing boxes with all the little pieces that I'm going to be sending out. I'm not going to attach them to the back of the pieces though, in case you want to do something different with them. But what do you think? Are those adorable or what? Should we make one? I think we should. Okay. is my little piece that I'm working on. Okay, about right here, it starts to really be coming apart. And whenever I cut hearts, usually I just fold the paper, the fabric, whatever it is, in half, and then I do the shape of a half of a heart. Don't cut yourself doing this. There we go. Let's trim it up just a little bit. It could go this way, which would be really cute, or this way. Now let's make a bigger one. And I think, let's make the bigger one this background again. And I'm looking for a piece where everything is in good shape. And I want it to be bigger. Okay. Just fold that in half. Get an idea of how big do I want it to go. I can always trim it smaller, but I can't trim it bigger, so start big. Oh gosh, it's not big enough. Let's find another piece. There we go. Ooh, and that's kind of pretty on the other side too. What do you guys think? Should we do it like this or like this? Or I think I know what I want to do. I want to do like this. And I will trim my heart a little bit skinnier so it's not quite so wide. There we go. And this is going to be adorable on it. And we could do a little round something. Let's see, what do I want it to be? I think I want it to be just a piece of this cream. So I don't know if this craft is something that interests you guys. I am always trying to switch things up and to do different things. So maybe if you don't like this project, just don't watch this day. But, you know, I don't want to be doing the same thing day after day after day. Okay, and that could go right there. And then I feel like it needs a dark button. Let's find one. I'm looking in my stash of black. Ooh, this one's kind of interesting. That's a possibility. It's a little big though. Here's one with a fake little diamond on it, but we're not going to do that one because that does not go with the style. And that noise is the printer. My husband obviously is printing something. I think that is cute. We'll do that one. Okay, I'm going to glue everything together and then I will trim it all up after the fact. So let's do the bottom part of this heart. Ooh, hot. And let's do the top part of this heart. And we'll add this on here. You know what? I'm going to do it with the blue. I think that's cuter. Cuter. Just trim it up just a little bit. Where are my glue sticks? You know what? I think that's too big. Let's see, could we do something different, like a pink? I think that disappears too much. What about this one right here? Well, talk amongst yourselves while I look for a button real quick. My black button stash is not great right now. I haven't gotten any black buttons in a while. This is a pretty one, but it's way too big. I'll show you. That might work. Or this might work. Okay, this is the one that was pretty, that I said was pretty. Can you see? It's like carved, but it's too big. So let's do that one or this one. Let's do this one. You certainly could sew all these layers together if you want, but why? I mean, the glue is great. This is not going to go in the washing machine. It would disintegrate if you did that. So hot glue works just fine. So these are the little hearts that we made. And I'm going to clear this counter off for you to get a screenshot if you would like. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Yeah, you could pin it on a jacket. That would be super cute. So just scooch all this stuff down here. These are the hearts. And here's some of the other little ones that we did. Where's the one that we made while I was live? Where did that go? Here it is. So if you wanted to screenshot that, anyways, I'm gonna let it run for just a second. Thank you, Susie. Hey, Susie, I'm sending you one. I'm also sending you one of those watercolor things I did last week. I already have the envelope addressed for you, my friend. So if you guys end up doing a project like this, I would love to see your results. And if you have ideas for what I can do with the rest of this beautiful quilt, some of the squares are okay. Some of the squares are in good shape. So I don't necessarily want to cut all the pieces that are good up, but I don't know what I could do with it. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Hope you like this little change of pace. I'll come back live in maybe 20 minutes or so to show you what's in the blessing boxes and to talk about that. If you haven't already liked and followed DiyDreaming, you can do that up here, and you can turn on your notifications so Facebook will hopefully tell you when I'm going live and show you pictures of the projects that I always post after I'm done. If you do a this or say something in the comments, that also seems to improve your odds that Facebook will serve you some of my content. So the red with the white star, oh, that would be so cute. Oh, you could frame these. Oh my gosh, that is a fabulous idea. And you know what? I have a little frame over here somewhere. I don't know where I put it away, that I was thinking about. Oh, it's right here. I bought this in the Target dollar spot. And it's something that you would frame something in between two pieces of glass, but I could do something like this with that on there. Would that be precious or what? I wish I had more of these, but that might be a solution. I could just glue this to the glass because the back of this one is in such bad shape. That would be super cute. So anyways, there's so many different things you could do with these. Thanks for that suggestion. Alrighty, I will see you guys later. So hop back over here again in about 15-20 minutes, and I'm going to show you what's in the boxes. All right, talk to you in just a bit. Would a square from the quilt fit in the frame? That's a very good question. Let's see. I think it's too big. I'll show you. So you miss out. You don't get the, I don't know what the name of this shape is, that's all over this quilt with these 4 little points, but anyways, I love this idea. I think I'm gonna have to save this one for myself. I'm gonna make a few more, and yeah, and I will see you guys again in just a few minutes.